I've been pitching for almost 28 years now. Sometimes I feel great, sometimes I pitch through sickness, I've even pitched through injury before, but I've never had a start where my body felt like this. I mean, I'm talking elevated heart rate, dehydration, bloating, lack of energy, severe tiredness. My body was a mess. Now, my goal this year is to win the Triple Crown by leading the league in ERA, wins, and strikeouts, and even one bad start could ruin my chances at accomplishing that. So that pressure, combined with my physical condition, made this my most difficult start yet, both physically and mentally. Let's break it down. Now, warming up before the game, I could already tell that my energy levels were down, and that was a bit concerning to me. In addition to that, I'd had about 2 weeks in between starts, and I hadn't lifted in 3 weeks, so it was important while we were at home to get a lift in. So 3 days before my start, I did a lift, and I was still sore from that lift. My bicep was sore from doing eccentric bicep curls, and I had some nervy pain in my hips, probably because I was still tight from doing squats and split squats. So my body was a bit of a mess going into this game. Despite that, I had a pretty good pregame bullpen session. My command was on. I just could tell that my velo was nowhere to be found. Now, it's important when you're feeling like this to still project confidence to your team and make them think that they have a chance of winning the game. Earlier in my career, I wasn't very good at this, but it's something that I've learned and tried to get better at as time's gone along.
Here we go. Let's do it. Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And I have no energy today. Today's gonna have to be a command day. I hope my body wakes up sometime in the 3rd or 4th inning because, oh my goodness, my nervous system is asleep, that's for sure.
Now, one thing I've learned from pitching sick a couple times is it's very important to focus on one thing. You're probably not gonna be as dominant, you might not have the best energy, your command might not be perfect, but if you can pick one thing to focus on and just stick to that, usually you can get through the game. So my one thing this game was throwing strike one.
All right, boys, here we go. Out of breath, no energy, throw strike one. F it. First pitch swinging at, how hard was that? I don't know, 90.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour on the first pitch of the game is not great. Usually I'm 93, 94 on the first pitch. Sometimes I'm even as high as 95, 96 on the first pitch. Now, I don't throw my max velocity in the first inning, so it's not surprising that I wasn't 97, 98 right here. But 90 is like 4 miles an hour lower than what I usually am, so that was definitely concerning. Also, it's very important to know where you are speed-wise, because then you can judge how the hitters are reacting to certain pitches. Like, for instance, here, he was a little bit late on 90. So I know if I can throw the ball a little bit harder, I can keep working the fastball velo up in the at-bat, and I don't need to go directly to off-speed pitches. Whereas if he pulls a ball foul right down the line and it's 97, I know, okay, he's really sped up. I have a lot of room to go on the other end of the speed spectrum and throw off-speed pitches. So I always try to know where my fastball velocity is to start the game, so I know how to sequence the hitters.
Why you twice at 90? Confused on this. Up and in. Yep. Right on it, dude.
And you can see a little bit about what I'm talking about there. I started off 90 down the middle. He was a little bit late. I moved the next one a little bit up and in. He was late again. I moved the next one up to 92, right above the zone, and he took it. And then I used that same fastball in tunnel to throw the curveball in the dirt. So if you look at the last 2 fastballs you saw in the curveball, they all overlay almost perfectly, and we get that swing and miss on a ball that was nowhere close to the zone. So even when my velo's not there, I can still use tunneling, and getting ahead in the count is gonna help that.
Good start. 90 ain't good though. I have to get that up a little bit.
Now, the second hit of the game was Manny Garcia, and I didn't know anything about him coming into this game, but I would know a lot about him after the game.
Here we go, Cutter. I like that. Oh, keep your eyes on the target.
Now, obviously the first pitch cutter was nowhere close to where I was trying to throw it, so here I'm trying to lock myself back into my one thing, throwing strike one, and to do that, I need to keep my eyes on the target. I got a little bit lazy right there, let my eyes drift, and I missed my spot really badly.
Come on. Nice swing.
So after missing with the 1-0 pitch very badly, I tried to throw a fastball right in the middle. I missed my spot again and ended up and in, and he was nowhere close to this. He was very late. Now, if I was sharp mentally, I would have seen that and gone right back to the fastball inside. Unfortunately, I was not sharp this game because my body was dealing with all the different stuff I mentioned earlier, and I chose the wrong pitch to throw 2-1.
Wake up, Cuerpo. Yeah, wrong pitch. He's late on the fastball. I went cutter. Stupid. My bad.
Now, not only did I choose the wrong pitch, I missed my spot very badly. That cutter up and away is a pitch that can be hit very easily, and he didn't miss any of it. Now, it's a little hard to see on the broadcast, but he was very excited rounding the bases. You know, it's the first inning, solo home run. You hit a home run, you can be excited, but he was a little extra excited. When he got to home plate, he did my sword celebration. Now, if you're going to do the sword celebration after you get a hit off me, this is the time to do it. You hit a homer, you can celebrate it, pimp it, do the sword, whatever. I don't care. Just know that you're going to get my best stuff all your next at bats. So as long as you're cool with that, we can play this little game. Now, I found out why he was so excited a little bit later in the game, but in the moment, I was just thinking, okay, that's one run. Let's get back to the plan. Just throw strike one.
First pitch hackers, all of you.
And that's what you get a lot of the times when you fill up the zone first pitch. You get first pitch outs. So that wasn't the best pitch, wasn't the worst pitch, but it was a strike. He swung early, hit a nice routine fly ball to my center fielder, and I get a one pitch out, which I really needed because my body was still asleep and not feeling good.
Yep. Down. Okay, I didn't like the ball in.
Now that's another missed spot on my cutter, but at least it was in the zone. You can see my catcher setting up mostly in the middle of the plate right here, and this is exactly why. If I miss by that much and he's set up on a corner somewhere, it's probably a ball. But missing by that much when he's set up in the middle, it gets me to the corners and I get strikes still. Now, even though I missed my spot, I can still read the hitter's body language, and I saw him flinch a little bit. This ball started off like a fastball that was going to be up and in under his chin, and it kind of broke back into the zone. So I'm going to use that in the rest of the at-bat.
Okay. Not interested in that because it's up.
And you see the same reaction on the second pitch, which is actually pretty close to being a strike. Definite ball, but you can tell he's flinching and he doesn't like the ball in.
What is that? That was a weird swing.
So that cutter was extremely hittable, and I was very confused how he didn't get a better swing off on it. The swing looked dangerous, but the ball came off the bat very weakly. I don't know if he got it off the end or what, but I was kind of confused on the result. This is one of those times where what my eyes see and what the result of the play is don't match, and I'm confused as to which one is off. Like, are my eyes telling me something that's not actually happening, or was that just a weird occasion? He just happened to miss it a little bit? Like, this one didn't quite make sense to me. Watching it back right now, though, I think what happened is that cutter came right out of the same tunnel as the prior fastball in, so he probably opened up to hit the fastball in, was a little bit early on the cutter, and hit it off the end of the bat. So even though the swing looked good, the ball didn't really go anywhere. That's the best I can guess.
My bad. Stupid pitch. Late on the fastball, and I threw it right to his barrel. My bad.
So despite my best efforts to hide the fact that I wasn't feeling good, my manager, Lowe, picked up on this very quickly and wanted to check on me.
So you're checking your velocity, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's low energy day. My body's like not, it's like I'm trying to get it to wake up, but every time I try to get it to wake up, I'm out of breath. So I'm like, I'll be fine. I'm not hurt. There's nothing wrong there. I just gotta get my body going.
Now, the whole time warming up before the game, I was caught in this really weird middle ground where if I didn't do anything, my heart rate was low and I was ice cold. And as soon as I tried to warm up and get my heart rate up, I got a big heart rate spike. So I really hadn't done that much warm up, but I was out of breath and exhausted. And I had no idea why my body was feeling like that. In my 28-year career, I have never felt like this before, so this was completely foreign to me. Now, I did end up finding out why I felt like this, which is going to be revealed in my next video, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. So going out for the second inning, I did feel a little bit better, but as soon as I started throwing my warm-up pitches, I was exhausted again. I was breathing very heavily, I had no energy, and my body was just feeling like it was shutting down on me. Now, I got a little help from the umpire there on the 0-0 pitch, so I'm ahead 0-1. So 0-1, I'm trying to throw this cutter up into the hand so I can set up a high fastball tunnel for the finish or the curveball down. Unfortunately for me, I missed my spot and ended up in a really, really dangerous spot to a lefty. The down and in quadrant to a lefty with a ball breaking towards them, especially a middle speed pitch like a splitter or a cutter, not a good recipe. That's a good recipe for a hitter to hit a homer. Fortunately, he missed this one and I'm ahead 0-2. Now, even though I missed with that pitch, I did get a read on his swing that he didn't see it very well. So I just decided to go right back to it, but throw a better one and see if I could get a chase.
Looked ugly on the 0-1 swing, so go right back to it. Looked ugly on the 0-2 swing too.
So next up we have the 6-hole hitter Pena, and I need to throw strike one.
Ah, get ahead.
Now, even though I fell behind 1-0, when I execute this 1-0's fastball for a strike, I actually have a great tunnel set up. I have the cutter that started away and broke off for a ball, and I have a fastball that started away and stayed in the zone for a strike. So I do have some confusion going here, and I can work with it. But I need to get to 1-2 here. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The 1-1 cutter started in the exact same trajectory as the prior fastball, so even though it ended up off the plate like the first one, he'd just seen a strike, and now he's in swing mode, and we get the swing on a ball out of the zone. And now we're 1-2, and I can use that tunnel again with either a split or a slider off the plate. Now there's two reasons I chose to throw the slider here. Number one, it's 1-2, so I have a free pitch to take a shot out of the zone to see if I get the swing on a pitch that he can't hit, and I know on 2-2 count I can come back and use that same tunnel to throw something in the zone and end the at-bat. Number two, I've thrown him 2 cutters. He didn't look very good on one of them, but they're the shorter moving slider, and they're in the mid-80s. So I figured after the second one that he swung through, I would throw something that looks the same, that was a little bit slower, that moved more, and hopefully I can get the swing.
I'll go, what's our 2-2? Fastball down away.
Now in the game, I was really surprised that he swung at that fastball down and away. I executed it perfectly, and I thought coming off of the tunnel of the last slider, he just would have taken that. But watching it back, I've already thrown him 1 fastball down and away, so the freeze effect is already gone. He's seen a fastball over there, he's seen the trajectory, he's seen strike, his eyes are clued in to that area. It's easy enough to get a freeze with the first pitch in a location of an at-bat. It's a lot harder to get a freeze on the second pitch in the same location.
Gotta get that close to the plate.
So after I got him to swing at that 2-2 fastball away, I decided to go back to the slider and try to hit the same tunnel, thinking that he'd swing at it again and it would break off and I would get my strikeout. Now early on in this game, we're seeing a little bit of a trend. I'm nowhere close on my off-speed pitches. I've executed 2 pretty good cutters, but the rest of them have been all over the map. I'm missing my location by a lot, and my sliders aren't close enough to the plate, so that's costing me extra pitches and making it more difficult on me.
That's just gotta be a challenge fastball.
Unfortunately, you can see my fastball location is letting me down as well. My goal here was to throw a fastball in the zone, what I like to call a challenge fastball, but I didn't get it anywhere close. Now, I did not want to walk that guy. He's the 7-hole hitter. We're getting towards the bottom of the lineup, and I have nobody on base in a scoreless game. I need to force these guys to hit the ball so that when I flip the lineup over to the top, there's no one on base. So this was not a good at-bat for me, especially coming from a 1-2 count with a perfect tunnel setup. I just wasn't able to execute. Now, even after the walk, we need to get back to our plan, throw strike one.
Can't be having that. 0-2 to 4-2. Not close enough on the sliders. Oh well. Okay, late on that. Do you go challenge in or splitter? I think you go in.
Seam fastball, high inside.
Yep, good call. What the kind of swing was that? So rattled. What?
So fastball in or splitter, both can work, but for different reasons. The splitter, if I've thrown a fastball away, I can throw a splitter that looks like that and breaks down off. I probably get a swing, maybe a rollover, and get a double play. The fastball in works because he was late on the fastball away, so if I move the fastball in, it's harder to get the barrel to it. Fastball away, you can get the barrel to the ball here and shoot it that way. But if fastball in, you have to get the barrel all the way out in front, or you have to pull your hands in. It just speeds up the hitter a little bit more. So I figured if he was late on the fastball away, he'd also be late on the fastball in, and that's exactly what we got. Now that's the second swing in this game that's kind of surprised me, where my eyes are seeing something that doesn't line up with my expectations of what should have happened on that pitch. Usually I would see a fastball up and in, I would see like a little pop-up, or I'd see him foul it straight back or be late on it. This one he kind of like pulled his hands in and like chopped at it, and I couldn't tell if he was like trying to hit it, if he's like a high ball hitter, if he was just trying to foul it off or what. The swing looked very different, and even watching it back right now, I don't know exactly what it was. So here we have the 8-hole hitter Martinez, and I started him off with the first pitch cutter.
Slide step, cutter.
Cutter's fine. Right on it. Ugly swing. Go back to that.
Pitchers, when you see a hitter take an ugly swing on a pitch, just throw the same pitch again. Force them to adjust. Don't change the pitch and hit their barrel on accident.
Good take.
So that's exactly what I did, and he took it. So now I have a sense that he's looking slower and he's adjusted to that cutter, and I can play off of that with another pitch type.
Fastball. High inside.
Yep. Go up and in. What the f? All right, we'll take it. Got her on the walk. Body's starting to wake up, so that's good.
So since the first pitch he was early on the cutter away and he was being aggressive, the next pitch was a cutter away and he kind of leaned out over the plate a little bit and took it. I figured he was slowed down, looking for something away from him, looking for something breaking away from him. So fastball up and in, he probably has no chance of hitting this right here from a speed perspective and also an attention perspective where his eyes are looking.
My bad. We'll get there.
The guy said that my bad that he got a little excited.
Oh, who
I
the?
hit the home.
What the fuck? I don't care.
I know, but
Fucking
I was
pimped it.
yelling at him because he did the sort. But he told me that he actually won a Rolex with that homer.
You want a Rolex?
Yeah.
Oh, how?
Some guy, I think a pitcher, a veteran pitcher, told him if you hit a home run for them, I'm gonna give you.
So yeah, that's why he was excited rounding the bases, because he won a Rolex, which is pretty tight, honestly. Good for him.
Next time when you see him, tell him I'll put him on the blog. I'll make sure to feature him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't care. You hit a homer, pimp it. Whatever, dude. I mean, it's hard to hit. If you succeed, have some fun with it. Maybe that's what I need, get hit in the head with a bat to wake me up. Okay, aggressive.
So going out for the third inning, it was still a 0-0 game, and the innings had been going fairly quickly. So my body was starting to wake up a little bit, and I was feeling a little bit better. So first pitch fastball I missed down and away, but you can see the velo is 93, so my body is starting to feel better, and my velocity is starting to come back. It's still quite down though, 2 or 3 miles an hour. So this is the 9-hole hitter. I need to make sure and get in the zone on the 1-0 count, and I execute a fastball down and away to perfection.
Okay.
I figured in a 1-0 count he would be swinging, and I was right. And there's no reason to expect that that would change in a 1-1 count, so I decided to change the pitch and go with the cutter away, using that fastball away, cutter away tunnel that's so effective to righties.
Back to the top of the order. Got you on a curveball the first time.
So the broadcast cut out a little bit here, so I'm not exactly sure what pitch I threw. I do know it was a ball though, so we're behind 1-0. Now remember in the first at bat, we started fastball down, then fastball middle in, then fastball above the zone in with the curveball chase below. So I'm trying to get back to that same sequence, just disguise it a little bit, throw a couple different pitches in different locations to then finish with the same curveball. But I need to set up that tunnel up and in with one of them.
There we go. Land the curveball? No, we'll cut it to the hands. Yeah, changeup works.
So after the 1-0 fastball down and away, I figured I'd throw a changeup, start it on the same plane, and get it below the zone. I figure he's swinging here, so I was trying to play off his aggressiveness. Now, earlier I mentioned that the cutter down and into a lefty is extremely dangerous. Any sort of mid-speed pitch down and into a lefty is extremely dangerous, and this one was one of those. A mid-80s splitter down and in the zone. This pitch could have gotten hit a mile. I think fortunately he thought it was one of those fastballs in from the first at bat, and when it broke down, he just missed it because of the movement, but I got lucky on this one. Either way, we're 1-2. I'm going to try to use it.
Let's go right back to that, I think. Or a curveball, one of the two.
Now I chose to go with the curveball there, but it was the wrong call. I don't have any high fastball or high breaking pitch tunnel established, so this curveball is going to start higher than where his eyes have been the entire bat, and it's going to end up as a ball. A very low chance that I actually get a swing on this pitch. And especially when you throw it nowhere close to the plate like that. I'm very fortunate that I didn't bounce it and hit him and give up a free base here.
See ya. Can I help you? Nope, just looking.
So 2-2, I decided to go back to the curveball, but I changed my focus a little bit. This one I tried to throw at the top of the zone, whereas the 1-2 I tried to bounce in the dirt. And here's my reasoning for that. He's seen fastball down and away, he's seen split down and in, he's seen curveball that started off kind of middle of the zone and broke down, so his eyes are looking down. I figured if I threw the curveball and I started it up, he'd read it as a ball right out of the hand and freeze, and if I could catch the top part of the zone, there's very little chance that he's going to hit this pitch, because one, he would have to trigger on it on time, and two, hitting high breaking balls is actually very difficult. No one really trains for that. Middle of the zone breaking balls, different story, those go a long way. But top row of the zone breaking balls, those don't get hit very often.
Just a window shopper, that's all. Okay, you hit the homer and you sorted me, so you get electric shit here.
All right, Manny Garcia, Mr. Rolex. Let's remember his first at bat. He saw 2 balls, then he saw a fastball up and in that he was nowhere close on, and then he saw a cutter that was just middle of the zone elevated. So he's kind of trapped at that middle speed right now. I decided to start him off with a fastball and challenge him.
Late.
Now my top velo of this game before that pitch was 93, but because he's in the box and he sorted me after hitting a homer, he's going to get my best stuff. So even though I have low energy here, I'm giving it everything I have in this at bat. 96 first pitch down and away, he's late, so I figured, okay, I'm going to move that fastball closer to him and higher, make it harder for him to hit, and add some velo to it. Now, I didn't add any velo to it. I actually lost 2 miles an hour, threw it 94 instead of 96, but I hit my spot perfectly, and he was, again, nowhere close to this fastball up and in.
Now we go curveball down, I think. Yeah, you're not expecting curveball down.
Now, I don't throw curveballs to righties very often, but coming off of an up and in tunnel like that and getting a swing, I can throw that curveball right off the same plane and break it down below the zone, and I'm pretty confident I can get a swing and miss here. Now, interesting little fun fact here, I talked to Manny the day after this game, and he said he actually watches the YouTube channel, so he was expecting a slider away in this at-bat. He figured after the fastball up, he'd get the slider away, 1, because I throw that to righties a lot, and 2, because of the tunneling setup, the fastball away, the fastball up and in, and I've been describing how I use that tunnel to throw sliders away. So I've seen a lot of fans commenting that, aren't you worried that giving away all this information on YouTube is going to make the hitters better? No, because I can read the swings and change the sequences very easily, whereas if a hitter goes into the box thinking about what he's going to do against me, you end up with a result like this. If a hitter is expecting a slider away, especially for a ball, and he gets a curveball that looks like the prior fastball for a strike, it's completely different and it's hard to hit. You can see his swing here. He kind of reacts a little bit and then tries to adjust to the curveball. This was not a smooth, fluid curveball swing. This was a swing at a pitch, oh shoot, that's a curveball, try to adjust, because he wasn't expecting it. And I was able to read that in the middle of the at-bat, so I can change the sequences on the fly like that based on the hitter's reaction and what they're telling me with their body language. That's something that they can't really compensate for because I'm able to read it in the game. So I'm not too worried about giving away information in these YouTube videos. And to all the hitters watching this right now, I hope you go to the plate thinking about my sequences, because if you do, I've already won that at bat.
1-1 on the day, but you have the bigger one, so I got to get you at least one more time to even it up. That motherfucker.
Like an angry curveball, like a slur.
It was pretty top down, but he was late on the heater away, really late on the heater up. I'm like, there's no way you're expecting curveball. So coming after that up and in tunnel, I was like, just bang one.
That's why you chose curveball instead of slider.
Yeah. Yeah!
So to this point in the game, it's still 0-0. But in the bottom of the third, the offense put up 7 runs, and I sat there for about 35 minutes.
Robbie's going from first. I think Robbie took all my energy for today. I feel like I'm 41. He's running like he's 33. What Pregame? What a pet. Dude, I'm like falling asleep right now. What the is going on with my body?
So all that time spent sitting there did 2 things. Number 1, my body cooled down a lot. My heart rate dropped, my internal temperature dropped, so I was gonna have a hard time getting that back up for the next inning, especially because I was dealing with this tiredness issue where when I try to warm up, I get extra tired. The second thing that it did was I was drinking a lot, trying to stay hydrated, and I started feeling bloated, and that made it harder for me to breathe, which just contributed to problem number 1. So going out for the 4th inning, I was not in good shape.
Dude, I don't get it. I slept well last night. Dude, I'm exhausted. What the f is going on? All right, throw strike 1. He should be taking, but probably will be swinging.
Okay, the reason he should be taking here is the pitcher just gave up 7 runs. Our offense hit for 35 minutes. You don't want to go up there as a hitter and make a first pitch out and maybe have like a 3 to 4 or 5 pitch inning and have your team go right back on defense. So generally speaking, after a long inning of offense by my team, the first hitter that I face will take the first pitch.
I'll take it.
Fortunately for me, he did take the first pitch because it was 90 down and in, and that's a nitro zone for most lefties. So off of the 0-1 strike, I decided to throw a cutter off the plate in, see if I could get him to pull it foul or at least get a swing and read where he was at.
Okay, so I got in on him at 88. Fastball at 90, cutter at 88. Ooh, I got a nice seam on this ball. That means curveball.
Bat corto. Rola que puede irse de hit y quítele el puede, se va de imparable.
Now, I was trying to throw that curveball in the dirt, but I missed my spot, left it in the zone, and I deserved to give up that hit. That was just a poorly executed pitch, also the wrong pitch to throw. Should have gone right back to the cutter in or the split below the zone because I actually had a tunnel set up for those where I could create some confusion in the hitter's eyes. There's no high tunnel, there's no high pitch in this entire at bat to set up the look of the curveball and get the swing below the zone, so this is just the mental side of the game, not really firing on all cylinders for this one. But now we're in a little bit of trouble. 3-hole hitter, lead off the inning, man on first, nobody out, in the middle of the order, so I need to get this out.
Get ahead. Yep.
So first pitch cutter, and that's actually a perfect tunnel to set up the rest of this at bat. That ball started off just above the zone, up middle, and it broke top of the zone, up away. I have so many options that I can play out that. I can start a fastball there and run it up and in over his hands for a swing. I can start a curveball there and break it below the zone. I can start a sweeper there and break it off the plate away, and it doesn't even have to be down. It just needs to be about at the knees. I can even throw a freeze fastball down and away after some of those pitches. I have a lot of options open here. So I decided to go with the slider because it's the same type of shape. It's just a bigger movement and it's a little bit slower. Since he didn't swing at the cutter, I figured he'd swing at that same tunnel, but he'd still probably be on fastball timing. So I wanted to see where he was at and get a read on his body language.
Right on it.
And after the bad swing on the 0-1 pitch, I decided to go right back to it, just move the slider a little bit lower and see if we get a chase out of the zone.
Yeah, 1-2.
Slider. Cutter. Four-seam fastball.
Freeze. Window shopper.
Now, I'm pretty sure if I get that fastball in the bottom third of the zone, anywhere in the bottom third of the zone, I get my freeze strikeout. And here's why. He's seen a cutter at the top of the zone that he didn't swing at. Then he saw the same trajectory and he swung at a slider that was a ball. He's not going to want to repeat that mistake and swing at another ball. So when I threw him the 0-2 slider, he was kind of slowed down. You can see his body language. He lands on his front foot and he kind of leans out towards the outer part of the plate. That told me that he was looking for something slow, something away, and he was going to make sure that he read the pitch the whole entire way so that if it was a slider, he could not swing. So if I throw a fastball off of that, and he's going to do the same thing, he's going to see that same trajectory, he's going to look away, and then the fastball is just going to sneak on in there right by him, probably not even going to get a swing off. So that's my thought here. Unfortunately, I missed, and now we're in a 2-2 count.
Okay, we gotta have a strike here.
Slider.
Yep. Strike.
So after missing with the 2-2 slider in the opposite direction and missing very badly, I said, okay, screw it. It's a 7-1 game, man on first, I don't have any outs, I need to throw a challenge fastball here, just make sure and hit the zone.
Challenge. Yes! Hi, boy.
Now, fortunately for me, I got this ball down and away, which is where I was trying to go with the 1-2 pitch, and I get the result that I was looking for, which was the strikeout. I just wasted 2 or 3 pitches to get there.
That's a big out for me. Needed that. Okay, first pitch hacking.
So even though I gave up a first pitch hit there, I don't really care. I threw strike one. I'm going to give up a couple hits there, but I'm going to get more outs and more first pitch strikes out of that than I do give up hits, and that's going to be more beneficial to me in the long run. Either way, we got 2 guys on and 1 out, so I need to lock it in here and find an out. I do not want to be giving up any more runs because that's going to hurt my chances at winning the Triple Crown, so I can't be doing that.
Pena and Herrera, okay. You're going to be swinging first pitch too. I'll throw you the big slider. Yep.
So after I landed the first pitch slider in the zone, I did expect to see a swing on the slider that missed the outside by just a little bit, but that tells me he's sitting on something that's slow and he's not looking for a fastball.
Got to freeze fastball now because you didn't budge on that. No, can't go cutter here.
Slider.
Where's the ball? Nice catch, get it in.
Even so, I decided to go back to the slider because I wanted to use the fastball to finish the at-bat. So I figured I'd throw the slider away, probably get a swing, just try to hit the zone with it to make sure that it's a strike. Even if he doesn't swing, then I get to my 2-strike count, and then I can finish with the fastball. Now, I left this ball up in a very hittable location, especially because the way this at-bat has gone, it's worked from a middle slider to a slider away, and now a slider back in the middle. So generally speaking, you want to work from the middle away. You want to work from most hittable to least hittable in the at-bat. And here I worked hittable, less hittable, way more hittable. And he actually puts a pretty good swing on this. I'm fortunate that it didn't find a gap because that would have cost me a run, maybe 2. But I get it out here and we'll get on to the next guy.
Need some energy here. Gotta get out of this. Cannot let this run score. We can be careful of this guy because we got Martinez on deck who's struggling.
Now, note to all the pitchers out there, it's important to know where in the lineup you are and what are the good matchups for you. I have a lefty at the plate right now. I feel more confident against a righty, and I have a righty on deck. So here, I'm saying, okay, I do not want to give up this run on third base. I have an open base. I can be careful to this guy. I can kind of pitch around him because if I walk him, I know I can get the guy out on deck. So this is kind of one of the ways you have to think in order to get out of jams, and it's something that pitchers don't really learn until they get into pro ball. So hopefully that's a tip that you can use.
All right, come on. Land the curveball. Buckle. Go back to that. Right on it.
So after the first pitch curveball in the zone take and the curveball below the zone swing, I just figured I'm throwing nothing but curveballs the rest of this bat. Let's see if you can lay out 4 curveballs for balls before you swing at one of them. Because again, I don't care if I walk you. So even if I walk you on the 4th curveball, I'm just going to get the guy on deck. The one thing I have to be careful of here is not repeating the mistake of the prior at bat, where I went from hittable pitch in the middle to a less hittable curveball below the zone, back to a very hittable pitch in the zone. This ball has to be below the zone. It has to be a ball.
Now I just gotta go right back to that. Make sure it's in the dirt. Come on. Got a good seam. Rip this shit. Ah! Ah! Had it when I needed it. Fuck. Hi, baby. Hey, nice block on that 0-1. Yep. Good inning last inning, boys. Good job. Hi, baby. There we go. Swing that.
So my manager has already been able to tell after the first inning that I wasn't myself. My pitching coach has been able to tell after the first, second, and third inning that I wasn't myself. And here he is checking on me again.
Just today, for whatever reason, my energy levels are just down.
That's the difference that I see, and it's kind of your whole body's kind of different compared with the other outing.
Yeah, I'm just energy-wise, I'm just like. So I try to get myself going, then my heart's like, ugh, so I'm like tired. So if I'm like, if I don't get myself going, then I'm like, and if I get myself tired, I'm like,
let me know just in case anything.
I'm fine. Okay? I'm fine. Yeah.
So despite my best efforts to hide it, it was painfully obvious to everyone how bad I was feeling. So in the bottom of the 4th, the offense put up 3 more runs, and now we're up 10-1 going out for the 5th. And that makes it even more important to throw strike 1. Now I sat for a long time in the bottom of the 4th, so going out for the 5th, I was dealing with the exact same thing. My body was cold. As soon as I tried to warm up and get my velo going, I was out of breath, and I was feeling extra bloated here, which was definitely affecting my breathing, which made the whole situation even worse.
Oh my God.
So I missed with the first pitch cutter. I needed to throw a fastball in the zone and force the action.
Oh my God, dude. Ball was nowhere close to the zone. I was so far below.
So falling behind 1-0 is never good, and even though I missed the zone with the 1-0 fastball, he still got a hit, and now I'm off to a bad start in this inning. Now we're towards the bottom of the lineup here, so I decided to start the next guy off with a first pitch cutter right in the middle of the zone.
Need double play here.
But I missed my spot very badly, and we're behind 1-0 yet again. This is not what I need to be doing. I did feel what I did wrong on that pitch, so I decided to go right back to the cutter, figuring I could land in the zone, hoping that he'd be thinking fastball, and I'd get a little rollover ground ball for a double play. Even though I made the adjustment and I threw a better cutter, it's still a ball. Now we're behind 2-0, and this inning is starting to get away from me very quickly. We're only 4 pitches in, and it is not looking good. So I use my freeze fastball here just to get back in the count. Now normally I try to work high fastballs primarily and then use the freeze fastball down and away to end the at bat, but every now and then when you're behind in the count, you can stick a freeze fastball down and away. You can use that up so you don't have it later in the at bat, but it does get you back in the count. So now we're 2-1.
Gotta go there again. Almost got my double play.
2-1, I figured the hitter was still looking for a fastball, so I decided to throw a cutter, just making sure I got it in the zone. I did get my ground ball. I was hoping for a ground ball to third or short on the cutter. It went foul, but now we're 2-2, which is still a workable count, and maybe I can get a strikeout or a double play here.
I want to throw a splitter here, but 2-2, maybe go slider in the zone.
Now after the cutter at 88 middle that he rolled foul, I figured if I threw the same shape, but bigger and slower, he'd be even more out in front of it, so he'd either miss it or he'd get me a ground ball. That's why I chose to go slider.
Yes!
And it proved to be the right choice. We get a strikeout and a sword, and if you want to get more swords, you can go to trevorbauer.com. We got this new shirt here. It's got sword written down the back. There's a bunch of new merch. You can pick up this white Bauer Alger Performance hat. We got a lot of great stuff there. So go to trevorbauer.com, scan the QR code right here, or click the link in the description and get your merch today.
Now we got to get ahead. So you're going to be swinging for sure. Oh, and a curveball. Yeah. There we go.
So now on the third hitter of the inning, we're finally back ahead in the count 0-1. Anytime I can land a curveball first pitch for a strike, it sets up the rest of the at-bat very well for me.
Oh.
If I execute. Now that fastball didn't have to be up and in. It just had to be in the zone up and in. And I missed by a lot. Unfortunately, I hit the guy and gave up a free base. I hope his hand's okay. That's a really dangerous area. The ball hits the knob and your hand at the same time. There's not a lot of padding on the side of your hand, and it can be a broken hand. So hopefully he's all right. Now we have two guys on, one out, right in the middle of the order, and this could turn into a problem. This inning could spiral very quickly on me.
A little too far in. All right, this guy hit the homer off me, so 1-1 on the day. I got to get you. I'll start you off first pitch slider. See where you're at. Gotcha. First pitch hacker, we'll take our first pitch out.
Now, even though that was a bad pitch because it was a slider right in the middle of the zone, it had a little bit of protection because of the prior two at-bats. So the first at-bat, he got the cutter, which is a middle speed pitch, up and away, and he hits a homer. The next at-bat, he saw two fastballs and a curveball, down and away late, up and in late, curveball bottom of the zone. So he still hasn't seen the bigger slider, and he's seen some fastballs, and he hit a middle speed pitch, but this pitch is slower. So he hasn't seen it, and it's slower than the ones that he has hit. So there's a little bit of protection on that, which is why I chose to go with the slider. Now, I get my first pitch out, which is great. I got 2 outs. I think I can get out of this jam, but I need to put focus on this next hitter and really lock in and get him.
All right, not out of this yet. Yeah. Hard.
That was a terrible curveball to start the at-bat. Getting behind 1-0 is not what I needed, and already I'm starting to think, okay, who do I have on deck? Is it a better matchup for me or not?
All right, come on, strike. Good swing, Poppy. A little aggressive though, don't you think?
I throw a much better curveball in the 1-0 count. I get the swing, and now I'm thinking, okay, he chased that one. Let me repeat that pitch and see if I can get the same exact result. Remember I said earlier, when you see a hitter look bad on a pitch, you just throw the same one and see if you can get the same reaction.
Yep, come on, bang it. Good take.
So I throw one pretty close to the same, but I get the take, and now it's time to go to a different pitch. I ended up settling on changeup. I'm playing off his aggressiveness here. It's 2-1. I'm hoping to throw this below the zone, hoping to get a swing on a fastball, or what he thinks is a fastball, and then a little out in front, little rollover, maybe a swing and miss right here. Again, I've already decided in my head that I don't care if I walk him because I like the matchup on deck better. So that's why I chose to throw a ball here instead of trying to challenge him and throw a strike.
What do we got now? We got fastball in, fastball away. All right, throw it aggressive below the zone.
Now, it did end up being a ball, but that was nowhere close to where I was trying to throw it. Not only is my velo way off today, but my command is way off as well.
We got a guy that we can get on deck, so yeah, we'll be careful here.
So I decided to throw the curveball 3-1. I was just being careful. I didn't really want to throw it for a strike. I definitely wasn't trying to throw it up and in. I was trying to throw it on the plate and bounce it and see if I could get an aggressive swing. But basically, I was just pitching around him here and just trying to throw a ball, walk him, and get to the next guy.
Yeah, we get. Yeah. We'll get this guy. Yeah, slider first pitch. Let's see where he's at.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Two things that I'm going to mention to you.
Yep.
Okay, Papa? Remember how tough you are, even the way we talked earlier in the dugout.
Yep.
Okay? You got the pitches, okay?
I got this guy.
Okay? I know. Okay, that's
we
the
go.
way. Let's go. Let's
Yep.
do it.
So I decided to go first pitch slider for two reasons. One, it's my best pitch to righties, metrics wise. And number two, I figured he'd be aggressive. I'm not trying to hit the middle of the zone here. I'm trying to be on the edges or slightly off it to play off that aggressiveness and maybe get a swing, a first pitch out, or get ahead with him chasing a ball out of the zone. But he didn't swing, so now we're behind 1-0. And I need to throw a strike here because going 2-0 with bases loaded is not a good situation to be in.
Heater down away. Doors.
And that fastball was my top velocity of the game, 97 right down the middle. Thankfully it was 97 because if it was 93, 94, he probably hits that pitch. But now we have a great middle tunnel setup with the fastball that every other breaking pitch should play off. This at bat should be over. After he was late on that middle fastball, I decided to raise the fastball up. I get another swing, he's late on it again, and now I have slider off the plate, I have curveball below, I have fastball even further above that. We're sitting pretty in a 1-2 count here.
Should we go again? Nah, we go curveball.
Now, fastball above the zone is a good call here. I could easily go that direction. My concern with that was if I miss a little bit down in the zone, I'm once again going from hittable to less hittable to more hittable. So I figured in a 1-2 count, I would take my shot with the curveball in the dirt, make sure it was completely unhittable. And if I didn't get the swing, I would go back to the fastball 2-2 to blow it by him and finish the at-bat.
Let's go, boys!
I definitely wasn't trying to throw this curveball where it ended up. I was actually trying to throw it and bounce it right on top of the plate. But it did have a little bit of protection to it because I went fastball middle, then I went fastball above the zone. He was late on both of those. So then I threw him something that looked like a fastball even higher, and he decided to take it thinking it was a fastball, and it broke into the zone. Now this is a hittable pitch. I'm lucky he froze. If he didn't, this could have been a hit and cost me a couple runs, but it did have some protection. It wasn't as bad of a pitch as you might think if you just saw it in isolation. Anyway, we're out of the bases loaded jam in the fifth. I've still only given up one run despite how bad I'm feeling, and my velocity is finally back.
We're good. It's just my energy. That's it. I feel perfectly healthy. Just my energy.
I mean, I don't want you to fuck up something because you don't have your energy.
Do I look fucked up?
You don't look you.
I don't look me.
That last guy was you.
It's there when I need it. I just don't have the energy to expend it every single hitter right now. But I'm good. I got one more. I would, low.
You want one more?
I would tell you.
All right.
I'm fine. I'm good.
You want another one?
Yeah, one more.
And my reason that I talked to the people about, being because you got the score 10-1, but you got the word. You want one more?
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay. Bájalo, tiene uno más.
Huh? At least 2 more punches. That's the only reason I'm going back out. I'm at 8 right now. Dude, I'm sleepwalking today. I'm so out of it for some reason. I don't know why. I can't get my body going. Like falling asleep in between innings. It's fucking weird.
I felt like that yesterday, but because Martha was talking to me a whole lot while I was warming up, so I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So even though I originally bargained to go out for the 6th, the offense put up 5 more runs in the 5th, and it was a long inning. A couple pitching changes, lots of walks, and I decided to go over to low and make the call.
This inning's very long and I'm ice cold. I think it's the right call.
At this point, we're up 15-1 in the 5th, and it's just time for me to come out of the game. I've had 3 long innings of offense where I've had to sit and get cold, plus I'm dealing with the health stuff and the energy stuff. It just made no sense for me to go back out, but it does highlight an important point. I am willing to tell my manager when I'm feeling good, but also when I'm not feeling good. Most athletes just bargain to stay in the game. I want to stay in, I'm good, even when they're not good. I'm very conscious of the fact that if I say that I'm good and I go out there and I'm not good, that's on me. So I need to be honest with when I'm good and also when I'm not good. And this one, it was just time to come out of the game. It just made sense.
Nice shot.
Good shit. How you doing?
Good.
Huh?
Tired as fuck, dude. I have no idea. I had no energy today.
Why? What you did last night?
I went to bed at 12:30, woke up at 11:30.
That's why.
Maybe too much sleep.
Yeah.
I never set an alarm on my start days because I just wake up whenever my body wakes up. Dude, today was a fucking struggle. Ugh. I literally, when we put up 7 in the third, I closed my eyes for a second. I'm like, I could fall asleep right now. And then I'd try to get my body going, and I'd be out of breath. I just was gassed. I'd throw my 4 warm-up pitches.
I saw you like a.
I don't know what the fuck happened today, but good thing you guys scored 19. 2. Roll it. Please roll it. Fuck yeah. There we go.
So we ended up winning the game 19-2. My final line was 5 innings, 2 walks, 4 hits, 1 run, and 8 strikeouts. Another great day.
Nice shot.